Welcome to another video with the brand new Huawei Ascend P6 smartphone, which is a 4.7-inch HD display smartphone, but it's actually mainly the slimmest smartphone right now in the world with 6.12 millimeters. And it's just quite amazing. A lot of people said it looks a lot like an Apple iPhone. I will prove them wrong. We have the iPhone 5 right here, Samsung Galaxy S4, Sony Xperia ZL, Sony Xperia SP, even an L, but I won't compare that, and also cheaper smartphone to show you after the unboxing a few surprises that you haven't seen before actually at the event in London. It's 2 weeks ago, but you can already buy it here in Germany actually even for 399 euros, even 50 bucks less than they told us, yes, with taxes. So it's actually not even an expensive device, but this is a pre-production device here, so you can see here this is not the finished box, but I think the finished box will look kind of like this since there's all kinds of nice ingredients already inside here that looks kind of like the real package. And again here on the bottom EMI codes and so on, that could be the real thing. So let's just open it up and then you can see here right away the smartphone. Let me just take it out like that. We will get to that in maybe a minute. Let's just see what else we have under this paper flap here. You can see that we have 3 separate little tiny white boxes. In one of them, for example, here there is the headphones, not in-ear headphones. We have this L shape here, and also just one microphone and one button to answer your calls, and of course you can drop your calls again here with this headphone, so nothing special, kind of like the first iPod headphones you had. Then another little long shaped little box. Let's see what's inside here. We of course need a micro USB cable for data connection. It has the Huawei logo on it. It's not white, it's actually kind of gray, but of course a standard micro USB cable, nothing special. And here the power adapter with 1 amp out at 5 volt. Again, in 2 hours you could charge your device easily, and it's also again quite nice and small. We put this back in here. And then one last little box. So what could be in here? Of course, manuals are not final yet, so there's no manuals inside this box. There will be when you will buy it in the store. But I hope there will be also this right next to it. This is a Tpu case in black, since I have the black version, which has a surprising feature I will show you at the end of the video. Till then, let's just see here. We have here this matte finish. Looks quite nice, and I think I showed you already 6 colors of this in London, so you can check out that video, but I didn't show you one feature of this Tpu case. I am holding back to you for you guys to the end of the video. So we have here the Huawei Ascend P6, the world's slimmest smartphone. I know there's slimmer smartphones, but this is actually weighable. You don't have to go to China to buy this, even though this is a Chinese company. 4.7 inches, there's no NFC inside to make it this slim. But there's a 2000 milliamp battery inside, and there's actually no IR detector on top. But I mean, who would use a smartphone to control their hi-fi system? It sounds like a nice gadget, but you don't really need it, I would say. Wi-Fi works actually also fine. So we have a micro USB on top, microphone, 1.3 megapixel camera, speakers, some sensors, Huawei logo, plastic bottom here. So this is the first part where it does not look like an iPhone. We have a wedge shape here on the bottom, so you cannot put it on like that on the table, it will not stand. But we have a microphone hole right here in this plastic part, where actually the antennas are of course for your telephone calls. Then we have here 2 little slots where you can put in your micro SD and micro SIM card. Volume control, on and off switch, and we already have been to the top. The back is also metal. We have here the 8 megapixel camera with flash, a little microphone, I think, yeah, that was actually on the top, I already forgot that. And well, I didn't show you one thing, which is actually quite interesting, is this little bottom part here. This is of course where your headphones go in, but it's blocked here from this little metal thing that you can, as you see, lose easily, so you should not lose it. This is actually a little metal pin that keeps out the dust, but what's also good for, which is actually a great idea by Huawei, is to just open up here this SIM card slot, for example, like that, and the SD card slot like that. So you can just press this in. You already know that from your Nexus devices, for example, and you can just slide it out here for the micro SIM. Slide this metal cover back in, and or of course also here for your micro SD. I think 64 gigs should also work here. You You can just slide these in, press them in again, and put your metal pin away if you're not listening to any music right now over the wire. Standard 3.5mm, by the way. So if you turn on the device, you can see beautiful screen. You have different themes, for example. Let me just go to the camera real quick so to show you. This is a really nice front camera, for example. That's what was on the last time. We have also the standard back camera where you can see right now myself, but you can also see that the display is quite nice even from the sides. There is everything perfectly visible, and from the top and bottom again here the display has a great viewing angle and of course brightness also. Otherwise here of course this standard Huawei interface, which is looking quite good, but we will show you all of that to you of course in our review video. What we want to do right now is turn the device off and compare it to an Apple iPhone 5, since, as I said in the beginning, a lot of people said they look similar. Now look at this, they don't look similar. Starting at the wedge or the edges, the iPhone has a lot softer edge. If you look at the cameras on the back, the flash is in a completely different position, and the back totally looks different. If you put them on top of each other, maybe look at it from the side. Actually, I like to do it, well, which way should I do it? Let's just do it this way. You can see here, even the metal is not the same color actually of these devices, so the Huawei has a lot darker aluminum actually chosen here. And it's, I think, even lighter, not much, I think a few grams, 2 or 3 grams than the iPhone, but not much. But what you can see here is that the iPhone is not that much smaller, even though it has a 4.0 instead of 4.7 inch screen like the Huawei does. So you can see there is not much of a difference in size, but in thickness. Of course, the Huawei is a lot slimmer. So let me put the iPhone away. There's just too much on my table, since there's a lot of devices here, like for example the Samsung Galaxy S4. Yeah, it's a plastic device, really light, and well, just see for yourself. In size they're about the same. In the first look you would say that the Huawei is actually bigger. Seems like it in height actually, but it's not. Let me show you like this. The Samsung is actually 1mm higher, or maybe even 2, and in the width it's also here. You can see here clearly, or not that clearly since I'm moving a lot, but here there is also again about 2mm that are of course bigger on the Samsung, but we have of course a 5-inch screen, not only 4.7 inches like on the Samsung Galaxy S3. And actually in terms of thickness it's close. The Samsung Galaxy S4 is really close here to the Huawei S10 P6 in thickness, but it's this plastic and it feels cheap, but it's more expensive. What we have also here is the Sony Xperia ZL. I don't have the Z right now, it would be thinner right now, but it's also a 5-inch device, and it's the smaller 5-inch device of the two. And this is actually so small that it's shorter than the Huawei S10 P6. You can see it right there. It's about 1mm shorter. It's exactly here, perfectly aligned on the top. But thickness of course different. This is again plastic, double the price, full HD. Okay, we have NFC inside and LTE, but that's actually not that important. LTE is of course also a big part of this device, and I promised you a little bit cheaper a Sony product, which is actually a little bit cheaper, 4.6 inches, so also competitive in that way. Same resolution on the screen. Thickness of course again no chance to the Huawei S10 P6. And of course in height, again a little bit of a difference, since the Huawei is a little bit bigger in screen size. But again, Huawei wins, I would say. And then we have just a cheap Chinese 5-inch device, the Arcos Platinum 50, which is just a lot bigger. So your Oppo or Zolo or any weird named Chinese companies with 5-inch devices, they would be about this big. I know they're a little bit cheaper, but not much, and they don't have LTE, and the camera is not that good, even though it says 8 megapixel right here. But I think the Huawei is just a really nice package. And now to the surprise, I will not leave you hanging, so let's just put on this case. This case is of course a nice little case I already showed you from London, which works perfectly like that. You can slide it in, you have the nice little feeling on the back. You can just use the device perfectly like that, but that's not actually how I want to use it. Maybe if it's raining, to protect the screen and the speaker. Let me just take this off. Actually, the Chinese guys told me that, and I didn't do a video about it. You can just flip the case around, put it on like this. Okay, I know you will not be able to have the micro USB right there, and you won't have your headphone port right there, but it's actually nice since you have a little bit of a water protection, I would say, when it's raining. But what you have to do is your screen, and it's working perfectly here through this TPU case. I know it's frosted TPU case, so you cannot see much, but for example, for writing an SMS or watching a movie or anything like that while you're walking through rain, this actually still works, and is quite cool. Okay, and your back of cover is again not protected, but this is just a really interesting feature to see that you can really use the case even through the case. Here the display nicely, even though the glove feature is not on. There's a separate glove feature, so you can use it with your gloves also in the winter. So this was the Huawei S10 P6 with this nice little surprising feature and an unboxing comparison. And if you liked it, if you want to see the review, don't forget to subscribe us. It's coming up soon. I'm working on it, but there's just so many devices here that you have this Huawei P6 has to stand a little bit in line. So till next time, please, and then again, my name is Balazs. Thank you much for watching.